Porsalin is a neat. That's why this is an in-depth exclusive feature, short, full-length documentary, not to insult Mr. Porsalin, but to give an all-around psychological exam of Mr. Porsalin, his mental health and personal well-being. Porsalin is a neat.
I want to begin by stating that this is Porsalin, and I'm nothing more than perhaps one of the faggy, click-thirsty retards. You could say that every single day I'm in the business of insulting my audience's intelligence. So it turns out there has been a growing trend of people who for one reason or another are not fans of me. I'll even admit I'm acting clownish on Twitter, and it's kind of hard not to barrel over laughing.
But I don't like big-headed Porsalin, so... Because I forgot Porsalin like to babble on with his British big fucking word babble. What are you babbling about?
Porsalin can be a good guy, but like he's so blind by lust for money.
Have you guys seen Porsalin's channel, bros? Porsalin's kind of like one of those people that I dislike. Like, I don't dislike him because he's a spurgy little cunt. No, that's not why. I dislike his voice, and I dislike the way that he's trash, too. God damn.
There's beef amongst the allies.
Porsalin fucking started overreacting like a little bitch.
Oh, that's weird. But remember when Porsalin got busted shitting on Beige Frequency using an alt account on Reddit?
Was that real?
Yeah, that was real. And Porsalin admitted it.
Fucking Porsalin was in the chat.
Porsalin's a nobody. He's a nothing. He had no bitches, no clout, nothing.
Porsalin was disingenuous little fucking limey worm. This guy got caught by the O&A subreddit. Fucking same fagging for himself. Now he got caught on Kiwi Farms, same fagging. So I basically called him out for being a disingenuous little limey worm. Who made 15 accounts on fucking Kiwi Farms and Twitter and fucking Reddit? Hey, Porsalin, by the way, I know you're sneaking around hanging out with a lot of people that are fucking, doing a lot of gay shit that don't like me. Don't think I don't see that shit. You fucking pussy. Talking cash money shit.
It's like another one of those drama advisors, right? Like, they go through, they cut up other people's videos to kind of like promote them, but take them down.
Cut up my life and make me look like a terrible person.
He's a piece of shit guy because he's unlikable.
And yes, working on these documentaries are a seriously homosexual endeavour. You could say #homosexual endeavour. That makes me really gay, psychologically fucked up, seriously homosexual. Porsalin, oof. Sure, I've occasionally participated in homosexual endeavour during my work on the Owen Benjamin documentary back in January. In the making of that masterpiece, I would occasionally hop on to Big Bear's stick for a fucking laugh.
This guy's name was Porsalin. He has a very, very dark past.
Just try and imagine, if you will, Owen Benjamin endlessly fucking Porsalin night after night after night after night, week after week, endlessly railing me. Porsalin like some autistic dead horse, a sort of Big Bear style hostile rape, if you will. Anytime I've had something on my mind, I've spoken to Big Bear. Owen Benjamin.
Porsalin. A man who claims to be Porsalin is constantly trying to dress like a woman and humiliate people.
Since then, I've admittedly drifted somewhat. Now bear in mind, prior to last night, I would naturally find myself juggling Owen Benjamin's man boobs. After all, you could say that Porsalin is a no good piece of British shit.
Porsalin is now in rehab for meth. It's like, why are you folding your cards, pal?
That makes me no good piece of British shit. And again, it's important to reiterate, these documentaries are a seriously homosexual endeavour in efforts at getting my edge back. Now, it doesn't take an IQ of 147 to realise Owen Benjamin is a fucking retarded retard. Furthermore, I don't owe Owen Benjamin a single thing, and if it seems like I'm not around as much, or Owen feels like I've moved on to bigger and better things, well, that's just because I have absolutely moved on to bigger and better things. Naturally, I devoted a lot of my spare time to some big time streamer guy, Mike Shield, or Mersh, or the almighty master himself, or, you know, this affable, funny guy and very welcoming host, was a guy I had become familiar with during my work on the Owen Benjamin documentary. I'd even talked to the guy on occasion outside his show, courtesy of his Discord server.
Checked our Discord. He left our Discord.
Back then, I didn't really put much thought into leaving the ROTC Discord server, but me leaving his Discord was in some way conspicuous. Just try and imagine, if you will, the almighty giant-killing anti-hero, Mike fucking Shield, reprise his role as Mersh Noir and investigate my internet activity in hopes of seeking out every little hateful conspiracy against him. In fact, you could say this situation is oof. Hashtag oof.
What Porsalin has done, he tried to get a Kiwi Farms thread started about me. He and Pot Awful Jesse were in Pot Awful's little Discord.
Ready? Here we go. Okay. No, without further ado. I just want to point this out. Porsalin, I hate to call you. In fact, Porsalin, if you want to, I was actually going to ask you to come on this show. So if you're willing to talk, man, potawful.com/Discord. Join me in the call-in server on potawful.com/Discord. I'd love to talk to you about this because Porsalin agrees with me on all of this. Thank you. Fucking thank you, man. So Porsalin, if you want to join me in the Discord, I would love to get your take on this. But
Pot Awful Jesse were in Pot Awful's little Discord. Porsalin is like, oh, you got to make sure that you frame it so that the Kiwi Farms guys don't think we just hate Mersh. We got to get them to, we got to format it right. And we got to put it, the Kiwi Farms thread goes live. And I provide the screenshots. Immediately, as soon as the thread started, I popped in there and I was like, oh yeah, here's a screenshot of Porsalin planning this. Well, also, fun side note, he was DMing Royce and going like, hey man, I just wanted you to know that like that Kiwi Farms thread shit, that has nothing to do with me, man. It just was really gay. One of the mods over at Kiwi Farms got curious, looked into it, and noticed that Porsalin was operating like 4 alt accounts. And he shared his findings with the board. They posted it on the thread. I think he had like 3 or 4 accounts, like gay man with my picture and like media insurgent LOL and like all that. So again, he basically got caught same fagging, tagging it, same shit he used to do. He got caught doing this like a year or 2 ago. He was making fake accounts and he was like, yeah, that Porsalin guy, he sure is the bee's knees. That base frequency guy sucks. You should subscribe to Porsalin on Patreon. He get caught same fagging twice now in the last couple of years.
It's important at this stage to state that this is the most important part of this, you know, this stage to state that the issue is me. The issue is how Porsalin was the one that turned his back on them. And again, I'm nothing more than frankly cringe-inducing. Lying aside as the bad guy, I am very clearly a snake. Larger servers tend to bring with it a ton of infighting, drama and competing factions. Over the last 6 months, I've reduced the number of places I'm visible online to just my Twitter and a 20-person casual Discord server, where camps of naysayers are getting together, cultivated a community of e-friends, a sort of camp of haters which I belong to, if you will. Who I'm secretly plotting with only supports that exact scenario. I'll even admit to a spot of like goofing on Mersh privately, which one arbitrary fucking retarded guy on the internet have the discourtesy of disclosing. Oof. So naturally, I devoted a lot of my spare time to that corner of the internet. A rugged internet gang of camps of internet bad guys. Honestly, everybody who dislikes Mersh is plotting his downfall. They joined at the hip in some sort of Mersh-hating camp, hive-minded conspiracy where people who do the same. Just try and imagine, if you will, camps of hyperactive meth heads. After all, it's inconceivable that any reasonable person would even care to imagine camps of hyperactive meth heads. You could say that in Bleach, Thomas Daly and Lance is 1 or 2 of the internet's most obscure, retarded, hyperactive meth heads.
I'm Big Bleachy, okay?
I'm an asshole.
Tapping on the unbleached dough.
Hi, yeah.
Matt, what's up?
Yo, got Lance here.
What's up, Matt?
Wow, Lance, you dick.
My name is Gay Lance. Gay Lance.
Oh,
I'm gonna bring in the Thomas Daly. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure. We got a new guest.
Oh, did I just show up?
Yeah, I just want to say hi real quick. I don't want to be rude or scare you off.
Oh, thank you. Hello, I'm Thomas
That's
Daly.
Thomas.
I know.
Oh, okay.
The anti-merch community has so much potential. It's gonna grow so strong.
People to count their livelihoods on their on their.
I would say this, but I counter that with
Thomas
That's
Daly.
Thomas.
I know.
Oh,
Lance.
okay. Oh, okay,
We're
cool.
actually all gonna go to Unbleached then.
See? And that's from Thomas Daly.
Come the Unbleached Bergs. Unbleached Bergs. Can you say something positive about me before we go back into it?
About you?
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to them. You're a handsome man, Lance.
Hey, thank you, Thomas. I think I'm pretty cool.
And I mean, again, I've said this before. Go into any one of those chat rooms with these shows of these guys that don't like us. Right? Just I encourage you guys to go check out these chat rooms. Like complete Aspergery homosexuals.
Sure, I've occasionally participated in the odd unbleached chat. And yes, I speak to people such as 3D Gay Lance and Thomas Daly and have now joined the dreaded Legion of Spurks. I would naturally find myself around new people discussing issues congruent to Mersh, and Lance and Thomas gleefully piled on. Lance and Thomas Daly are two hoes mad. And whatever wildly gay or schizophrenic schemes those guys are up to is frankly how the rest of us operate. I've set myself a quota every day to ensure I comment regularly on his shows, given that every subject brings with it an entirely new subculture to talk to, and given my recent proclivity for obsessing over Mersh, the excitable Porsalin saw an opportunity to have a little fun. Week after week, Porsalin participated in the chat, which in my own case is tantamount to edging. Now of course, online communities are a seriously homosexual endeavour, and it's just unfortunate I'm being this way. Really, online communities are a seriously homosexual endeavour.
Gay ass community, because being in a community is gay, right? I agree with that. Totally.
I agree. Yeah, it's bullshit. Like
Porcelain says.
Yeah, does Porcelain live in Britain or something?
he's even a real person. I don't know.
He's a digital man.
I don't even know what they use over there for money. They use fucking. Probably using Muslim money now, right? Porcelain's in the chat. What's up, buddy?
There's a certain
Mersh.
documentary. Porcelain's little bit.
Porcelain's convincing me to fucking Porcelain was in the chat. He was over here just hanging out. I'm excited for Porcelain. Porcelain even talks about in this video in the chat. Come back.
No, Porcelain has a good comment. He says this entire debate is nothing but projection, passive aggression, arbitrary dismissal of good points, ad hominems piling on and screaming over Matt, and they still say they didn't lose.
I would say this, I counter that one.
I agree with Porcelain in the chat.
Let me get Porcelain in here. Hey, Porcelain. You're on. You're live. You there?
Oh, hey man.
There
How's
you
it
go.
going? I was just in the chat.
You're in the chat. Yeah, that's right.
But I was just in the chat.
You're in the chat. So, all right, Porcelain, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, buddy.
So what's up with Porcelain in your chat, man?
He's a good friend to
You
the
hear
show.
about all his alt accounts? Porcelain's alt account. Porcelain is in your chat. So you don't give a fuck about Porcelain being a fucking bitch. Porcelain is in your chat. He's a bit of a bitch. Come on, man.
He's retiring.
I mean, he retired from making videos because of Owen Benjamin. Porcelain's alt account. So you don't give a fuck about Porcelain being a fucking bitch. Porcelain is in your chat.
Like, yeah, he fucking used alt accounts to big up his show and to big up his videos and bury Bass Frequency's videos.
So what's up with Porcelain in your chat, man? So you don't give a fuck about Porcelain being a fucking bitch. So what's up with Porsalin's alt account? Porsalin is in your chat. All his alt account. He's a bit of a bitch. Come on, man.
He's retiring.
I mean, he retired from making videos because he's a bit of a bitch. Come on, man.
He's retiring.
But we're actually all gonna go to Unbleached then, because I'll call in, or I'm gonna go piss, get something to eat, and then I'll call in.
Later,
Porsalin. Exactly. Thank you. Fucking thank you, man.
They all loved me once. So much betrayal. But Porsalin's a shit guy. He's actually proven himself to be a bit of a scumbag as a person. I kind of outed Porsalin as a rat and a cunt. This has to do with the fact that we caught a guy red-handed being a massive same-fagging retard for the second time in a year. They literally got caught doing the shit they've been accusing me of doing for 4 months because they got so desperate. And I'm supposed to just let it go. I think you could see, right? I think if you just go to Twitter. If you just go to Twitter and look, because Porsalin's been tweeting since like 9 in the morning about me.
Okay, I've got Porsalin here. The other guy's waiting in the Discord. Thomas Daly is in here. Should we? I don't really know who Thomas Daly is, but I'll unmute him. Let's get him in here. Hi, Thomas. You're on. If you unmute yourself.
What's up?
Hey, what's up? I don't really know you, Thomas, but welcome.
Yeah, I don't really know you either.
Now, Thomas, I'm going to mute you again. Okay. And let me get back to Porsalin here for a second. Now, Porsalin again. I just want to get, this is all I wanted from you, okay? Because I was literally thinking about asking you to come on anyway. We spoke about this in DMs on Twitter, so I'm not trying to dox you here on this. I know I posted one screenshot, but am I correct in believing that his whole problem with you was that you just showed up on another guy's show where someone else happened to be saying bad things about Mersh?
I was staring at my feet, shuffling my feet around while everybody was attacking him.
You certainly didn't do any help for him, but just to be clear, because this is where it all kind of stemmed from in a lot of people's minds, is this weird Twitter meltdown that happened. And a lot of people said I was the one melting down. I, of course, think, I don't know, Porsalin was the one melting down. It was very womanly. It was all over, in my opinion, nothing. I don't know. Porsalin, was it nothing?
I was spiraling on Twitter and I was spurging out.
Like, oh, I get dumb fucking woman.
That's actually a good point.
What happened with that whole Twitter thing?
Well, I was spiraling on Twitter and I was spurging out.
Spurging out, right?
Oh, yeah. Spiraling on Twitter and I was spurging out.
I'm sitting here talking to Porsalin, who I, of course, think was the one melting down. I just want to get your take on that aspect of it.
Well, I saw what was happening with your Twitter thing with Mersh, and I just saw a complete mirror to what my thing with Mersh was. I was spiraling on Twitter and I was spurging out and part of a group of people that hate him and that were working against him. Fuck Porsalin.
Right.
Porsalin's a snake.
I got to be honest. I don't give a shit, man. It does not matter to me. Okay. And can I have your channel, by the way? Can you just give me your channel? You're not using it.
Now, of course, given Twitter is my main contact medium, to those asking what the devil I was tweeting about, going off on all night, such a dramatic overreaction from Porsalin to the slightest of slight criticisms. Now that's, you know, this, I am very clearly frantically lifting rocks wrapped up in a Chimeric rage, night after night after night after night. Porsalin was the one that's lifting rocks in efforts to frantically lift rocks. Some guy, Porsalin was the one that's frantically lift rocks, night after night after night after night. Lifting rocks, to those asking what the devil I was tweeting about. Having fun frantically lifting rocks are a seriously homosexual endeavour. Watching some guy frantically loading his bases. Ultimately, Porsalin was the one frantically loading his bases, night after night after night after night. Wrapped up in a Chimeric rage, I am very clearly lifting rocks. After all, I'm nothing if not lazy, unproductive, and unnecessarily provocative. Ultimately, Porsalin was the one frantically loading his bases, night after night after night after night. Wrapped up in a Chimeric rage, I am very clearly lifting rocks. After all, I'm nothing if not a hyperactive Spurg himself. Lifting rocks to those asking what the devil I was tweeting about. Having fun frantically lifting rocks, frantically loading his bases. You could say that I am very clearly on the side of people who are slandering Mike fucking Shield. The fact that Mersh has invested any time whatsoever to working out where I might fit in the giant jigsaw of Mersh-hating pieces, which camp of haters I belong to, or who I'm secretly plotting with, getting together with those who hate Mersh to hurt him and his brand, despite my best efforts at reassuring the guy in direct messages, shows clearly Porsalin is on the wrong side of events. He knows where I stand, and I've told him as much privately. And again, it's important to reiterate I've literally joined a rival gang. Furthermore, if I knew Mersh was about to reprise his role as Mersh fucking Noir and investigate my internet activity in hopes of finding more mean things said about him, I'd have maybe stuck around. I could have stayed in his Discord server. After all, I'm nothing if not a click-thirsty retard. It's important at this stage to state that this is simply giving my side of a really gay Porsalin frantically loading his bases. Ultimately, I'd also like to warn those aforementioned trolls out of some sort of loyalty to Mersh, whatever wildly gay or schizophrenic schemes those guys are up to maybe sit this one out. Finally, here's my final message to those aforementioned trolls.
Leave my Mersh alone.
Today was very important in showing just how obsessive and unhinged these people are. Hey, Porsalin, clickety clack. Here are screenshots of you a week ago doing gay op. You've been caught. You've been caught by me. You've been caught by the mods at Kiwi Farms. You've been caught by the ONA subreddit doing the same shit over and over and over again. Bumping the Kiwi Farms threads with his 4 sock accounts. That is Porsalin in a nutshell. So, Godspeed. Godspeed to Polaris.
Nigga talking all that shit, no enough. We go in the kill it, go in the kitchen. Nigga no we go in the kill it, shoot an extension. Nigga no get it. Nigga you talking that shit, no we go in the killing that shit. Nigga the talking that shit, no we and then shooting that shit, sending that shit. No one get it in place.
Okay, well. See you tomorrow on Revenge of the Sis and Nightwave. Faggot.